Yo, what's up? What's up? Don't forget to donate to the Cash App, which is Carcido. And we are back. Back like we never left. Here's something you need to know as we are moving forward here. This is fresh update right off the presses. Now, everyone's talking about the Lakers and what's going to be happening there as the players are flying out to go and, train with Luka over in his country. Now, many people are looking at that as whoa, Luka's calling shots like that. He got guys flying out the country to go over to Slovenia to train with him. Yeah, you got a bunch of white guys. When you get a bunch of white guys, you get a bunch of white guys to go over to Slovenia. I don't think the brothers are going. The brothers gonna be slow. Who? Slovenia. Is that like near like Italy? Like Milan? Are they gonna be kicking it over there? Like what's Slovenia like? It's gonna be like, yeah, you gotta take a crap in a bucket and throw it outside on the street. Good luck. So you're stepping from worlds into another world, into another world, into another world. So constantly your life is going to be switching. Now, if you Luka Doncic, last year, him and JJ Redick had a rough tenure. They had a time where they were actually going to fight each other. Doesn't mean that they don't like each other. These are former teammates. Yeah, I know. That's how quick JJ got the job. They were teammates. And a lot of people didn't understand that. Like, what? They're teammates? Like, yep, they were teammates over in Dallas. And Luka always used to undermine what JJ Redick's role was with the team because JJ always felt like I didn't get the opportunity. And he's like, come on, JJ, like cut the bullshit. Your job was to shoot threes. Like that was your job, to get open and shoot the three. Your job was not to lead the team. You had one job. You weren't big enough to defend anybody, so your whole job was just to get open and shoot a three. So be good at that. That was your only job. That's what Luka used to like, dude, you don't have a clue on what we have to go through being the main guy. You only had to defend no one. Just shoot the three. That's it. If JJ Redick misses a three, oh well. We the ones that's the face of the league. You don't understand what that level is like, JJ. So what Luka was trying to tell him, like, dude, come on, stop with this. When they were on the mind the game thing, he was like, dude, what are you doing right now? This is before he was the head coach. Because they were actually cool. It's when he actually became the coach. And now it's like, you got to respect JJ. And it's like, are you serious? He's like, look, I don't undermine a coach. You know, y'all say the coach, whatever. Not trying to do that. But what I am going to do is question things I think is stupid. As he should. Now, the new ownership is taking over. And typically, what you would see all the time is there is a new change in the regime. There's always a shift and a regime change. And that's people's fault. People have their expectations, and when their expectations isn't met, this is normally how it plays out. I'm serious, dude. This is normally how it plays out. When someone don't make it, it's always somebody else's fault and someone else's problem. Yeah, that's the key denominator. Whose problem is it? So now JJ Redick, after his first year, got an extension. It's going to be real easy to replace JJ after this season. He might not make it through the whole season because, one, this organization don't really know him. A lot of people think he's going to be fired for Chris Paul, and Chris Paul is going to be the head coach because Bob Iger and Chris Paul have worked hand in hand with charity foundations and events, and Chris Paul is corporate, so they love a corporate guy like that. Plus, he's so knowledgeable about the game. So everybody's like, man, they finna fire JJ and they gonna hire Rich Paul. Doesn't necessarily mean it's happening, people. So let that sink in right now. Let's get that out your brain. Doesn't mean this is happening right now. I know. Well, this comes down to the majority of the people around. The majority of the people that's like here, they don't seem to have a problem with getting deals done. They don't seem to have a problem with taking things to another level if it needs to go there. And that's what people want to see nowadays. They want to know that they're protected. They want to know, like, hey, this person has my back. Well, what we're not seeing is a continuous effect of people making a conscious effort to go up against the energy that they see in front of them. Like when you start seeing, when you start seeing things that don't usually go well, what do you start thinking is the problem? Last year, everybody was looking at JJ Redick, not knowing what he's doing. Oh, Luka's very excited about the season. They got everybody that Luka was looking at to want to be a teammate with. But owners, like I say, for this Laker franchise, I don't know how, passive these owners are going to be when it comes to making decisions. Are they going to keep Rob Pelinka? Are they going to keep Jenny Buss as a governor? All of these things will be discovered later on as the season rolls around. But it looks like they're not going to shake the boat this first year. But when Mark Walter's already out, now they're like, okay, well, what's coming along in here with the front office? Because JJ's extension that he got his rookie year, and he's Rob Pelinka's guy, and Luka was cool with him, but I don't know if Luka's cool with him being his coach. And how cool will Luka be with Chris Paul trying to coach him? Is he going to be okay with that? So they already hired him with no NBA coaching experience. He wasn't even a shooting coach or assistant coach, nothing. But they was like, his maturity, his humility, his IQ for basketball, all of these things. This is what we're talking about. So when you start looking at JJ Rednick, sorry about that, Redick. You look at JJ Redick, who was able to change his whole shirt. He fits their itinerary altogether. But now it's a bigger problem because you're stuck in a conundrum where these people here are your best friends. These are your besties. And because these were your besties and your best friends in a situation where you were supposed to be the king, you were supposed to be God Luka over there. Now it looks shaky in the light. And everybody's looking at you like there's a major problem going on. They looking like, man, he ran LeBron out of town. Not Laker fans, but other LeBron fans. So now they've had 50-win seasons like twice since he's been there. Well, typical like owners like said, okay, this is cool. But now keeping JJ Redick is important to maintaining some type of continuity, right? Bob Iger's close friend is Chris Paul. So the likelihood that he could be hired is just some type of official advisory position. It's an unexpected twist, but the Laker fans would probably respect it, they believe. But I'm saying don't even expect that. Chris Paul got more chance playing with the 76ers than he do being the Lakers coach. Sometimes people just go off garbage people say on television and they roll with it. Here's the news, y'all. He's not going anywhere. I'm sorry to break this news to you, but he's not going anywhere. If they could serve as a mentor to anybody or there was some type of guarantee for then you could say either or, but ultimately the Lakers are still early in the transition process and the new owners are still processing this historic acquisition. So as much as people are excited about the future and trying to change rapidly management and coaching and players right at this moment in time, like upset the apple cart. Right now, they just wanted to own a team. That'll all come later. That one is too close to the start of the season to start making personnel changes. If you start doing personnel changes at this level, then it could disrupt. Now we got to look at a lot of Mark Walters' people. He had a guy that was pretty much the president of basketball operations. Now that's going to change probably. You'll have a new president of basketball operations who might have a different way of earning revenue for the team. And what will it align with? What would the cost of it be? The NBA could not afford to have Mark Walters in his situation, swallow the Los Angeles Lakers and get that roped up in the situation. So the only way to make that feasible was to get rid of Mark, which they did, and found someone to buy him right out. Somebody who was already vetted and holding on for an NBA basketball team. Now, here we go again, We come full circle with another situation. The relationship now with Luka and JJ Redick. Both of them look like they go to the same stylist in Los Angeles and get their hair done and moussed up. Yes, they're actually friends, Bob Iger and Chris Paul. There's a couple. What do they have in common? Well, all of those camps, the Disney camp, Bob Iger has definitely sponsored a lot of the Chris Paul camps over the years. The basketball, Nike, and Disney. Uh, Bob Iger has always been connected with Chris Paul. Yeah, well, that was a bad situation for a lot of these different reasons. When you see a lot of teams come together and they say, "Hey, we're going to go this route," and they start building the team to go in a certain direction, and you see other people come through and torpedo it, like what LeBron has been doing for years to like all the teams. Yeah, well, you wouldn't be there, you know. Absolutely not. And the reason that I wouldn't say that is because you dealing with a high level, a very high level when it comes to basketball IQ. I'm not taking anything away from JJ Redick. I'm just saying you're dealing with a very dangerous high IQ. And once you start going down that road and saying this is where we want to be, and you start making that type of decisions, you know what I'm saying? So you're already creating a bad situation and turning it from bad to worse. Now you're doing this. You know what I'm saying? So it looks tacky, right? It looks like you're swallowing. It's like the snake swallowing its own tail. When you have a team that, first of all, they got to get to know each other. A lot of these players have never heard of JJ Redick. Okay, they've never heard of him. Most of these international players came in while Redick was already gone. So they got to learn him as a coach, learn what they're going to be running, the system they're going to be running. And is it something that Luka is going to be comfortable with? Now, last year they had to, you know, cater to LeBron James, something that Luka Doncic isn't going to do. When you don't feel you need to cater to somebody for no one for anything, 9 times out of 10, you know you don't have to cater to somebody for anything because you already know where you stand. And where you stand, catering is out of the question. So, no, don't expect JJ Redick to go anywhere unless this season starts to tumble. Now, if this season starts to go to a whole nother place, mhm, Yeah, the season gets out of hand. Let's say they get off to a slow start. Team's not gelling. Somebody can be fired. A matter of in a matter of seconds. Mm-mm-mm. No, because we all end up falling for the same trap. We get sucked into the hype, not realizing that people have to play the game. So when you end up playing the game, how's it gonna play out for you? That's the main thing that people forget. That's the main point. Well, you always want to get to that point. You don't ever want to be put in a position where you feel powerless. If you put That's not helping you. That's helping someone else you don't even know. JJ gotta go. No, it comes down to that. So when you see people in their realities, people often will let you down. It all depends on what you seeing in front of you. So the majority of the people around are not even thinking about the regular season the way they should be, which is a mistake. Many people will have doubts. That's the nature of this. People will always have doubts. That's why I tell people all the time, keep telling. Mm. It's gonna come down to injuries. Like Luka's last 3 seasons has ended in injury. And we're gonna go more into that probably tomorrow. Not tonight, but tomorrow we'll definitely go more and more into that. Man, there's so many problems going on right now. To have one person telling you the ins and outs of everything, come on now. What they say, never bite the hand that feeds you. When you start biting the hand that feeds you, then what is it? Hell no. We're never gonna be okay with that. Let me tell you that right now. Look, we're never gonna be okay with that. As sports fans, when you see people get behind certain events or certain situations, that's just how they are, man. It's like LeBron James has fans. You know, they got products they sell. They try to go, they play pickleball now instead of racquetball. They go get their pickleball. They got his paddle and all this for everything that they pushing their agenda, everything that's in play, right? So when they start doing all this stuff, nobody has anything to say. They don't question it. They don't get in the way of it. They don't say anything. They let it rock. Nobody says, hey, I got a problem with this. I got a problem with the way y'all doing things or handling y'all business. The Los Angeles Lakers, when they had LeBron James, have been doing the same product system for 8 years straight. When people are there for a borrowed time, LeBron loves you until the trade deadline. Then he's getting you up out of there. Right. You got LeBron who's got zero footwork altogether. He could barely jump. But yet and still, this is what the people want to see. You know, they want to see a person that is pretending to be the part. Yeah, well, that's how people feel. So when you start seeing people that's like not in alignment with the way things are going, you'll start to get the pushback. You start to feel that pressure. You'll start to feel that that injustice. You start to feel that. So the more and more you get the pushback, this is where it's going to be a line. This is where your situation is going to go left. It happens just that quick. Thanks, Kennedy Rose. Kennedy Rose just hit up the Cash App, showing support. Appreciate you. The people that know. You feel me? No, because you don't understand what LeBron has done to the Lakers for 8 years has to be erased. Everything that he brought to the Lakers has to be erased. LeBron brought JJ Redick over there. So you got to flush out all the LeBron so you can get to the Luka era. So trying to flush out all the garbage that he brought for the past 8 years so that Luka can have his reign here. But my concern with Luka is about his health. But now with the team, this is the most stacked team Luka's ever had as far as talent. And that's what most people keep saying, white people, white people, white people. You're not noticing something. While y'all screaming white people, white people, white people, they're screaming success, success, and more success. That's what they're screaming. And they're setting their team up to win by getting basketball players that matter. Meaning that this is how winning is done. Now, when they win with these guys, like when Austin Reeves was on the team, everybody was, who the hell is that guy? He's just some white guy. Then it's like, oh, okay, well, the white guy could play a little bit. Then that turns into something else. It always changes. Right. It's always going to change to fit an agenda, to fit something that you like. The chemistry will be together now. There will be no more the chaos that was following the Lakers. The chaos is out the door. Now the team will be shaped around Luka, where other guys will get involved, so he won't have to kill himself so much, putting up 30-some plus a night and shooting the ball every time because everyone's just standing around. He's actually got guys that can help. So JJ Redick shouldn't have to worry about his job right now. Now, we don't know the Lakers starting five yet. We're assuming the Lakers starting five, but we really don't know the Lakers starting five. Now, I remember when they had D'Lo, Austin Reeves, Anthony Davis, LeBron, and Ryu Hachimura. Remember that lineup? Ugh. Now, Walter Kessler is the center. Great addition. That's going to free up a lot for Quentin Grimes and Luka and Austin Reeves. So offensively, that's going to free up a lot of space for them. But when you start looking at the actual depth chart that they got, their rotation, who they got coming next, the Lakers are going to be more dangerous than what people have ever realized. Oh, Sandro is the one. Are you Sandro? No, I'm Sandro. Dun 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 dun. You are not Sandro. I am Sandro. Dun 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 dun. So more and more, less. In other words, you're going to be seeing changes. Whether good or bad, you will be seeing the changes. The new look Lakers, they mean business. And see, guys like Matisse coming in, Cameron Carr, young kid coming in, Walter Kessler, the young guy coming in. You got Luka and Austin as your backcourt. This is the X factor right here. Sandro. I am Sandro. Mammook pickup from Toronto, to me, was the key that opens the door. Having Mamook on your team will open up everybody. You can't double anybody on this team. Mamook is such a great shooter. For his size, his height, Mamook can score. You guys probably have not seen this guy because you haven't really watched too many Raptor games. But let me tell you about this guy. They got Sandro from WWE. Mamook. That guy is the key factor to the whole team. You got Colin Sexton, Kevon Looney, who's there for basically mentorship, but Quentin Grimes, who might end up being a starter when this is all said and done. And they're looking to add another player to the team, Kuminga, who I think is outpricing himself. So once again, you know, the floodgates is on. And you know how they say, once it's on, it's on. Yeah, everyone reaches a point where their back is against the wall and they got to come up with ways or reasons or what other people would say that is not usually ideal for everyone involved. Mm. A lot of people would be when you talk about the Los Angeles Lakers. Who wouldn't be intrigued? I know I would be. LeBron didn't leave because he didn't like LA. LeBron couldn't come back. They didn't want him anymore. They're ready to, when they got Luka Doncic, they was getting rid of LeBron James. That was their future. They tried to see if those two could play together, and they cannot. LeBron kept trying to manipulate the team, wanting to get rid of Austin Reeves and do his LeBronism. And the LeBronism don't work. That's not an ideal way of winning championships. Keep trading away players like that deck of cards and then get a whole new deck right halfway through the season. And then you get exposed because he doesn't know how to build with teammates. He just knows how to go and join teammates. Hey, thank you, Terrell Moore, for being a real brother, man. That's all I know how to be, man. Yeah, pretty much. It's going to be a lot of different things transpiring over the last or the next few days, but people didn't understand when I was telling them before that the NBA is crazy and everybody's waiting on the full schedule to be done, and they're trying to figure out what's going on with all these players, but it's become so difficult they don't even know how to navigate it anymore. But if JJ Redick cannot coach this team here, he should be fired. But this team right here should alleviate a lot of stress and pressure off of Luka. And it's like they got a lot of white guys on this team. Yes, they do. But they got the right people on this team. People that are glued to winning. They cut out the problem of the team, LeBron James. They got rid of him. And now it's winning time. It's getting back to Laker basketball. We can get our Pistons and Lakers going again. We can get back to some real basketball and get away from this arcade bullshit that they've been putting in front of us. It's time to get to it. It is time to get to it. All right, let's go.